All right, without further ado, I'm gonna get started. So it is a beautiful Sunday. I'm up on our rooftop patio here at our apartment building, and it's actually amazing. The management, I guess, has put out all of the furniture. So I came up here expecting to sit on the floor, and here I am sitting at an actual table with chairs. There's loungers. It's really quite beautiful up here. So anyways, this is my 21st week YouTube check-in of my pregnancy. So in terms of the baby's growth, baby is 10.5 inches long. It says the weight is 12 ounces, but our baby was 12 ounces last week at our ultrasound. So he is bigger than he's scheduled to be, but they say that the apps, they always kind of like estimate that they're less weight. I don't know, that's just what the ultrasound tech said. She's like, yeah, your baby's 12 ounces, and if your app says 10 ounces, that doesn't mean your baby is like overweight or anything. So it's normal. They just always estimate on the low end. So anyways, who knows? Maybe he's like 14 ounces right now. That's pretty crazy. Not too much to report other than they say he's, kicking and moving around, and I still haven't felt any substantial movement. I felt like a little bit of something going on, but I'm not sure what I don't know. It's just, obviously that's what it is because there's a baby in there, but it doesn't feel like enough for me to be like, oh my God, that was a kick. So even though the fluttering or whatever it is I feel probably is the baby, I still just don't want to I want to wait till I feel something substantial to be able to be like, I felt the first kick. What else? The baby's taste buds are fully developed. It ingests about a mouthful of amniotic fluid every day. So whatever I'm eating, the baby is getting that flavor, which is super cool. They say that the baby, if it's exposed to all sorts of different fruits and vegetables and different cuisines, it'll be more apt to want to try those foods after birth. So that's pretty cool. Yesterday I had a green curry, so I don't know. I eat a lot of Mexican food as well. I'm drinking a kombucha right now. So good. Have you guys had kombucha? Comment below and let me know. If so, what are some good sugar-free brands that you've tried? This one, I can't remember the name. Mama Booch, that's what it is. It's like a cranberry with ginger and green tea. I put some fresh squeezed lime in there. Super tasty. It's nice to just change it up and not always have like seltzer water or just plain water all the time. So some things that have been on my mind, some fun stuff. So, we got our first couple of baby outfits, which is really fun. And I don't know why I didn't bring them up here. Next video, I'll show you guys the baby collection that we have going so far. Some super cute stuff just from Target. We wanted to celebrate on the day of the ultrasound and couldn't go out to eat or do anything like that. So we decided to buy him one outfit at Target. And realistically, we walked out with like 6. So thanks, Target. I just some life stuff. I decided that I want our house to be like a tropical sort of vibe, but not in a cheesy way, like a Thailand meets I said kind of a rock and roll vibe, because we do have a lot of black and white and we have some red, but mostly black and white. So as much as I love black and white, because I do want just a little more playful energy in the house, especially for the baby. And it's just I feel like I'm at that stage in my life where, I do like black and I love wearing black, but I do, I wear pops of color with my lipstick and sunglasses and things like that. So I feel like my house needs to have that same sort of pops of color. So we went and bought 2 plants yesterday, which was super awesome. A palm tree, and then it's called a Bella palm, and then a Persian lime tree. So I'm really, really excited, and I've decided to do some kind of vegetable gardening on the balcony. So we're going to do grape tomatoes, green beans, blueberries, strawberries. We can't do those till the end of the summer, though, but I didn't even realize you could do blueberries and strawberries on your balcony. So that's pretty cool. Also going to think about doing some lettuce and some spinach, red peppers, and possibly some jalapeno peppers. So super exciting. I'm just like pumped. That's one thing this quarantine I feel like has really done for me is, I don't know, just kind of, it forces you to slow down and to just think about like, what is it that I really like? I don't know what's been missing in my life as it's been up until this point. And these are always things that I've wanted to do. And we did have a vegetable garden on our balcony like a few years ago. Well, like 6 years ago. But just kind of getting back to that stuff. Like I feel like, you know, you get caught up in sort of just like going to work and school and just the day in and day out. And it's like, what do I really like want to cultivate? Like what kind of setting do I want my baby to come into the world being in? Like what kind of home do I want to have? So it's kind of cool to be at that stage, because I feel like for a long time I've just been like, you know, I don't know how to explain it. Just like maybe coasting, like doing what I need to do. And like, not that I haven't been hustling, because I have, but just in terms of like taking time to slow down and cultivate, like putting effort into the aesthetic of my house and realizing that, you know, my aesthetic has maybe changed between, you know, 6 or 7 years ago and now. So that's really exciting. Still working on my baby registry. I feel like I don't have enough items, but it's like I really don't want a whole bunch of stuff. So that's on Amazon. And I've only shown it to one of my friends to see what she thought, because she's also pregnant. But I have yet to send it out to anybody, but I think I should probably do that soon. I mean, I'm 21 weeks, and I'm not sure when the right time to send it out is, but if it was normal life, I'd be having a baby shower in July, so that would give me only like 2.5 months, right? What else? There's an upcoming appointment to get your glucose test to determine your like risk for developing gestational diabetes. And I'm gonna record a video about this, like a separate video, because I think it's like really fucking crazy that they ask you to drink this drink called glucola, which is 50 grams of sugar, and it has a bunch of savage ingredients in it. And it's just like super, super artificial ingredients, like bad ingredients. Like this drink is banned in some countries. And I had a visit just over the phone with a nurse, and she was like, oh, we've got to get you set up for your glucose screening. And I'm like, what is that? I had no idea. And she told me, oh, you just drank this drink called glucola, and then we test your blood. And I started researching it, and find out like you don't have to do that. Number one, you should test for gestational diabetes, because it is important to do so, but there's other methods of doing that and getting the results. So I'm gonna do a blood meter and just prick my finger and do it that way, and do it after meals through the course of like a week, based on what I actually eat, rather than after consuming a 50-gram sugar beverage that I would like never drink in real life. So that's coming up. It's supposed to be in 5 weeks, so I'll definitely do another video on like my whole experience with that, with like using a glucose meter, telling the doctor or the midwife I don't want to drink the glucola, and I'm intrigued to see if they're going to try to fight me on it or they're going to be chill with it. Next up, I've been thinking a lot about home birth potentially. It's something that I really wanted to do when I thought we were going to be living in a house, and then when I found out we were living in an apartment, I was like, oh, like I don't really want to have a home birth and have the neighbors hear me. That might be a little awkward. But then I realized, like, and Sean mentioned to me that what does it matter what the neighbors think? Or like, I don't think the neighbors would think anything. And if like I was super concerned about it, I could just let the neighbors know, like, what's up? I'm going to be having a home birth. If you hear some crazy ass shit, it's not a domestic dispute. I think I might have mentioned this in my other video. Apologies if I have. But I've been thinking long and hard about it, and I interviewed a midwife over the phone, and she told me it starts at about $3,200 to have a midwife come to your home. But that also includes like a lot of aftercare that, you know, like you don't get with the hospital. Typically you would get a 6-week check-in with the hospital after birth. That's it. So that doesn't really seem like enough. And like I could go into another huge video, and I think I will do a video just on the concept of home birth. I was kind of looking into unassisted, what they call free birth. And Sean was like, no, he's like, that's way too sketchy. And as much as it sounds really sketchy, it's also like, what's sketchier? Paying like $3,200 to have somebody come out here? Like, I could hire a doula for a couple $100 and do a shit ton of research. I don't know. We live super close to a hospital. I don't know. We'll see what happens. We'll see what the state of the world is like. I mean, how about that? That's crazy. Like, if I was giving birth right now, I would do a home birth, because there's no way in hell I would give birth alone in a hospital without my spouse. That just wouldn't happen. I wouldn't do it. But I really like the idea of just like being able to have a home water birth, like in a birthing pool with like my music and incense or a diffuser and my dog there and the food that I want and my bed, and like having everybody there for you. Like the midwife and the doula are there. They come to you. Like you're not, I don't know. There's just a lot of aspects of it that I really like. And like the whole, I really don't want to have any medication, epidural, none of that. And being in the hospital, obviously, like you're going to get to that point right before transition where we're in transition, or before that or whatever. Most people, I think, at one point are like, oh, I can't do this, I want the drugs. But if you're in a hospital, it's so easy for them to just like, depending on where you are, right? They can't always give you, can be too late for an epidural, but, you know, they can still give it to you. Whereas if you're at home, if you made the decision to do it at home, you are going unmedicated, because they cannot give you an epidural at home. So it sort of eliminates that potential. And just for the sake of like the baby's health and my health and the ability for my body, I don't want to interrupt the natural hormonal cascade that happens in the body. And I want to be fully present. I don't want to have half my body numb. I don't want to have a negative reaction to the drug and have the baby go into cardiac arrest, or just have a difficult time laboring because I've been given some sort of drug. It's like, I just don't want to do that. Like, I'm sober anyways. Like, I don't use drugs. I didn't use drugs years and years before this pregnancy. I quit drinking alcohol in September, and that was my third time quitting alcohol. So like, I'm not down with that. So I will definitely be talking more about the potential for home birth, but unmedicated and natural is definitely what I'm going to do regardless. Whether we can afford to do the midwife at home or just do the doula or whatever we choose, it's going to be unmedicated. So I think that's all I have for today. Oh, and then I'm looking into hypnobabies. I'm super stoked about hypnobabies. I'm not sure if I want to go with that brand specifically. Like, that seems to be like the biggest one, and it's really inexpensive. It's like under $300, and it's a home. You work through the course on your own. It's all online, and it gives you techniques on how to mentally shift into a different place when you're going through the birthing process, so you have like a really positive birthing experience. So I'm definitely going to look into that. There's also a local duo, they're doulas, and they have a course too. So that's something I could also look into doing, but I'm not doing shit until school's over, end of May. So putting that on hold. The only other thing that I wanted to share is I purchased a baby book yesterday. So can't wait for it to be delivered. And in the next video, you know what, you guys, I'll show you the baby clothes that I have so far, and then I'll show you the baby book. So it's for like its first year, where you record like the holidays and its first words and all that fun stuff. And then I'm gonna buy a Polaroid camera and use the Polaroids, like the legit OG Polaroids, not Instax, to put in the book. So I'm super excited. That's basically all I have for you. If you like watching these videos and following along, definitely give me a like and subscribe. Am I still keto? Yes. Am I still drinking ketones? 100%, because it makes me feel absolutely amazing. 21 weeks, you guys. I mean, I'm so glad that I didn't listen to, you know, people telling me that I needed to have, you know, bread and pasta and grains in order to have a healthy pregnancy, because my baby's super healthy, I'm super healthy, full of energy. Couldn't really ask for anything more. I've been working out 30 minutes a day for the last 3 weeks, and Sean and I are starting a new program tomorrow called Lift 4 by Beachbody. So anyways, there's your update. Hope you guys have an amazing day. I'm just going to enjoy the rest of this sun and my kombucha here. So cheers. Stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll talk to you guys soon.